Still the 29th. I'll put this one up when the power goes on, but just to let you know, Sunday morning our time at 6 a.m. I'm going to do another live. It's always nice when you guys show up, talk about some things of the day and whatever you guys want to talk about. I still don't have the thing where I can get you to join. That'll be down the road. But I did one here on to bring or not to bring. Take a look at that one. And keeping along those lines here, another thing, before you come, I've heard of these fellas that are here already, and they talk about a Charles Schwab account. And from what I'm hearing, that's a good deal because you can have your pension deposited in there, and then you can get it out here easily. I don't know what the exchange is. Check into it. Now, one of the things I should have done when I was in the States was open up an RCBC account. Now, my pension, they don't allow it to be deposited into a foreign bank. That's CalPERS and the other one. They just don't. I don't know why, but that's neither here nor there. So I use TransferWise. I have a whole bunch of other ones, Remitly's and all of them. And yeah, Remitly comes on with this big come on that they're the cheapest for the transfer, but they don't give you the same exchange. So what I do every month, I take it's a set amount when I get every month. I put it in there before I'm going to do my transfer, and whichever one gives me the most money is the one I use, and it's always been TransferWise. But if you can set up an RCBC account, I believe that'll help you out. Or if they have, I heard that they have a Bank of the Philippine Islands in California. If you can set up your deposits to go there, then you can just get the money out of here. They always give the best exchange. Plus, if you need to get cash out of their cash machine, you can get 20,000 pesos out. Every other bank here, they only allow you 10. And now we made the mistake of using Security Bank, and every time I need money, their cash machines aren't working. So I got to go to another cash machine, and they charge you like 35 cents. And you got to do it every 10,000. If you need 50,000, they're gonna nail you. So be careful of that. If you can open up any accounts, I would do it. Now, if you're coming here to stay, now this is just hearsay, and I would check into this, guys. It's just something to check in on. I'm hearing from some of these guys that are here that are 65 and older that are drawing their Social Security, and they're telling you that the Medicare doesn't work here. Now, I did talk to a guy. He was 66, 67 years old. If you're visiting here, it's still good. But if you move here, it's worthless. So if you come here, I would make sure cash is king here. Keep some cash handy or something in an account somewhere. Most of the hospitals will take a debit card or a credit card, but make sure you got something for emergency health care. If you can get frequent flyer miles on any of your credit cards, and just pay everything. See, that's the best thing you could do. If you got bills, let's say your bills are a couple thousand a month there in the States. Let's say you got a house payment, car payment, whatever payment you got. Pay it all with your credit card, earn the frequent flyer miles, and then just pay it off when that bill comes in, and try to build those up in case if you got to get out of here quick, fast, in a hurry. So, be careful all that. And the bank in here, there's things you're going to find out with the banks here, okay, that's a royal pain. Like, we opened up accounts, even though I'm on a fixed income, we've got kids now, so I have to put money back for the kids every month. Well, we opened up their accounts in Carmona. Guess what? We can't do anything with even though it's we have theirs in a savings account, a passbook savings account. It's called PS Bank. That was a good deal. There was no minimum in all this. It was easy to get to for us, and they have them here. But guess what? We can't deposit the money in here. we can't do anything. We can't take the money out here on the passbook. Nothing, and they won't give the little kids like a debit card. So it's really dumb. So every time we want to put anything in theirs, we got to go all the way back up to Carmona. Another thing, the first bank I really used here was the RCBC, because I had, that was in the States. And we were out in Emus and we needed some money, so I went over there because I didn't have the debit on that one. And I went to get money, and they said, no, you can't use this one. This isn't that RCBC. So you're going to get here, and you're just going to shake your head at, even though it's an RCBC bank, it's not your RCBC bank. So be careful about being in a hurry and opening anything, and know that if, let's say you're living in a place for 6 months, you're renting out, which I recommend, rent for a while first, see what you got around you, see if it's your bag. Then when you get settled, you're going to have to open up an account there. And opening accounts here are a royal pain in the butt, guys. I mean, they want to know everything. They want to know the last time you clipped your toenails, when you washed your butt, last poop you took. I mean, it's ridiculous, the stuff they want to know here. Why? I don't know. I just don't know. And even transferring money in, if you want to transfer a huge amount in, it's just a royal pain. So if you can get any kind of a bank there in the States to have your money in and be able to draw from that here, that's the way to go, especially your emergency money. Now me, I don't like the idea of having money in the States. I wish my pension would be able to just come straight here, because who knows what, when countries start failing, and this fiat currency is going to fail. I have no doubt about it now. They're just doing too much with it. They want to do another 666. Build back better. What's going to happen? I mean, the money's getting worthless, so eventually every fiat currency fails. And what do they do when it starts failing? They rob pensions. They rob them. They rob bank accounts. That's history. Just look it up. So, look at Venezuela. So you have to prepare for that. Make sure you got some. I recommend putting as much as you can. Right now, the best deal is silver. As much silver as you can get. And you can bring that with you. You can carry that in with you. Just say, I got some coins, and they'll take it at face value, not at weight, if you buy the coins. Some of the big walking liberties and stuff like that. Hey, it's $1. Because you got a 10,000 limit. Now, you can declare more. You can say, okay, I'm bringing more in. I'm going to retire here, blah, blah, blah. But usually it's best to do that. The way I did it was when I went back, because I already had my my permanent resident visa. So make sure you get to all your appointments too when you're going down to these immigration and all that. It's going to be different here than it is in the States, the way they do things. Just be mellow, smile, because you're going to get a hell of a lot more done smiling than you are if you take a case of the ass. Don't do that here. It's a huge mistake. But just watch it. I know there's a lot of fellas here that are getting their Social Security retirement plus a pension they had, or they had money in the bank. And there's some more good guys out there that tell you, some of the vlogs. I can't think of them offhand, but they'll tell you the best ways to get the money in. But I have to transfer, because when I was there last time, I couldn't make it to California at the time, and that was the only place I knew of with an RCBC. Now, there may be more of them in the States since then. Bank of the Philippine Islands. I even heard of a buddy in the Midwest. He says, I can buy Red Horse now. You couldn't do that years ago. The only place I ever heard they even had it was in California. So things are changing up since I've been there. I can't say how it goes in the States anymore, because I haven't been there. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of guys that I talk to on the channel. They hit me on the Messenger or whatever, on Telegram, and they went out. They say it's just going crazy, especially some of the guys in California, where these people they made it so that you can go in and rob the store, and it's a misdemeanor, a real low crime if it's under $1,000, and they're walking in the stores just taking stuff. And this is just insanity, guys. It's just really crazy, and I don't know how much of that stuff's going to come here. I really don't. This is a pretty strong Christian nation, but when you get a lot of people higher up, they want to change that. Satan rules the roost in a lot of places, guys, and so you got to be really careful of his wiles and what he does. And I get somebody on there says, "Oh, your imaginary friend," and all that stuff. Hey, that's the way I don't cut you down for being an atheist. If you don't want to believe in my God, that's your business. Keep it to yourself. I don't go busting your chops because you don't believe. That's your bag. None of my business. And when you get here too, it is best to mind your own business. It's none of your business. When you start getting into this chismis stuff, it's a mistake, guys. They're way better at it than you can ever be here. So, it's even with my wife. If she gets into any kind of chismis, stay out of it. I'm just like, hey, stay out of it. We don't need to know. What everybody else does is none of our business. I don't want to know their business, and you're going to be far better off keeping it that way when you get here. I know a lot of guys that are going to come. They're going to just totally end their place there. I would recommend, guys, if you're planning on coming and you want to sell your house and all that, you're better off either to lease it through a leasing company to get a little extra money and just keep it, because you don't know what's going to happen here with the government. You might say, oh no, they're going to get draconian and you just got to bail. So that's something to think about. I wouldn't I wouldn't be too much. Now, I do understand if you're ex-military, from what I'm hearing from other guys, you can get the SSRV for, you only have to put $1,500, but guys that weren't ex-military got to put $10,000 in, so know that. $10,000 in your account. So, there's a lot of things, and you can go on the immigration website and look things up. That's the best place to get the answers from, because it's pretty detailed and up to date on what they do there. So, just things to think about before you come, and make sure you got an exit strategy, that you're ready to boogie if things go south here, because I've said this from the beginning. This place is nothing but a roller coaster. Now, that probably the U.S. is too. You don't know. You don't know what the heck they're going to do. It's just, this whole convict thing just ruined it. Just ruined everything. And they're finding out now. Come on. It's all been a bunch of Bolotsky. And it's a real shame that they pushed this on us. And now now look at this, what they're doing. I just saw a big thing on with the truckers up in Canada, that they're, the news media, they had some woman on there, and they had the cameras that weren't even showing where the trucks were coming. And they claim this thing's 100 kilometers long now, these trucks. All these trucks in a line, they're going to go to Ottawa, and they're getting even from the States are joining in and all this kind of stuff. But the news media up there in Canada, maybe Rebel News isn't, but the rest of them are like turning their cameras away from the road, and they're just trying to get the sparse thing like it's nothing. And then Trudeau says, oh, it's a fringe group. But why is he running away and hiding, the little panty waist? There's a dang Nancy boy if I ever saw one. And you see all these big top leaders like his mentor, the Schwabe guy, in his wiener sack and his girly clothes he's wearing, and then you see that guy from the rock band The Who, he's like a black fellow that's trying to tell you who made him boss, I don't know, but he's trying to tell you, oh yeah, you got to take this thing and do this and that, and then they got him and his little panty-waisted things. I put it on Telegram, guys. I put that on there, pictures of these guys, and it doesn't look like it's anything that's been photoshopped. And you don't hear them jumping all over and denying it. You'd love to see it. If it's true and they do deny it, oh boy, that'd be some great news. But they try to keep this stuff under wraps. They're sycophants, and they're like running the show because they got all this money. You look at these people who are intellectuals, that make these decisions. Personally, myself, it's just like the schools. I don't think there should be a professor or a teacher. Let's say somebody's teaching economics or they're teaching math or anything. I don't think they should come out of college and just start to be able to teach that stuff. They should be able to come from the business world. You know, if you're going to have a teacher in economics, it should be somebody that's already done his 30 years. He's a retiree and just wants a retirement job. You know, where he can go work in the school, earn maybe an extra little pension or something after so many years. But you get these intellectuals that come in here, and if they're wrong, so what? They get away with it. You know, they did this whole thing for the last 2 years, and they keep spouting this stuff off. Were they wrong? Well, proof's in the pudding, guys. You know, did the numbers go down? No, they've made it last longer. So they were wrong. But they're still in there. And they're still spouting stuff that should be done. And they've been wrong. Look at this Fucci. That guy, well, I don't think he's wrong. I think he's just flat out a liar. You know, he's pushing some kind of agenda, but he's wrong. It's just unbelievable. But yet he's still got the highest paid job in the States. Give me a break. Give me a break. When do they fire people like this? You know, if you can't do your job, you get fired. That's what happens to the rest of us. Why do these intellectuals, you know, they get out there? They have one guy, they did an interview with him, and he was talking about these intellectuals. Nothing goes wrong. If they're wrong, they still got their job. But if you're working for a private company and you're one of these guys and you mess up, you could lose your job. But not these intellectuals. You know, they're the big brain trust. They've been doing this for years, you know, all the way back to Roosevelt that I know of. And, you know, they got their big brain trust and everything's going to be rosy and wonderful, and they've made nothing but mistakes. You look at the history of the Great Depression, we were coming out of it until the government decided to meddle. And then the unemployment went into double digits after they started meddling. You know, so, and it seems to me like these governments, when they start sticking their fingers in the pie, they're going to take some, and it's not going to be beneficial to the people, and it's a real shame. But be careful when you come here. If you can get all your banking and stuff straightened away. I did a thing. I stayed here for a year on 500. Tropical Tim did a thing on 600 a month. Can it be done? You betcha it can be done. Would I ever do it again? Hell no. It can be done, but no, I wouldn't do it again. Come here with as much money as you can, you know, so you can have a nice retirement and everything. And people come in here even on $1,000 a month. I wouldn't recommend it. You know, if you run into trouble with your health or anything like that, you're screwed. You go to the hospital with a stroke or something and you don't got money, you're screwed, pal. They set you outside. They don't care. These hospitals here are a business. They're not mandated by the government where they got to take you. You know, they don't got to take you. It's private business. It's just like if you go up to a tire place and say, I need my tire fixed, and you don't have any money, they're not going to fix your tire. That's exactly how these hospitals work here. So make sure you're covered. And if you're you know, thinking, yeah, I can move there and I can live on $1,000 a month, sure you can, as long as the world is perfect. But we all know it isn't. So I would be, you know, I would definitely want, they say, what's the minimum? It's real nice if you got 4,000 minimum. I'd say minimum to have it so you can have it nice and do stuff. And maybe down the road you might want to get a car. You know, don't spend it all while you're here, because you won't spend it all. But you might want to get a car down the road or something to get around. I wouldn't recommend you know, getting one right away here, because you might lose it. I also wouldn't recommend, if you got a sweetie here, of building, because you got to put it in her name, unless you two are really solid, like my wife and I with the kids and everything, because you could lose it. They could say, get out. What are you going to do? Got to get out. You can lease, though. You can do a 25-year lease. If you're 65 years old, 75, 85, that's up to 90 years old. So you can do the 25-year lease and then build a house on it. And you can put the house in your name and her name or whatever, or just yours, and leave it to her if something happens to you. Because how many people actually hit 90 anyway? Okay? So if you're coming here retirement age, even 60, you know, you're still at 85, and if you want to redo it, if you're still healthy and good shape, you get a option to redo it. But there's so many guys here that came here. They sold their house in the States. They came here and they built a house, or they sent money to a girlfriend, and they don't get nothing. Then that girl moves into that place with her boyfriend and they laugh at you. There was one guy married the girl and was sending her tons of cash, and she was taking a picture of this house getting built, just constantly getting built, and he's sending her this huge, I need another 10,000 American because we got to do this and do that. And then she's showing pictures of this house being built and all the workers and everything. And then finally he gets there, he doesn't hear from her, so he comes and he looks and he goes to the house and he's like, this is my house. And those people say, what are you talking about? We built this house. This is our house. The girl was just going up to a build and was taking pictures and screwing him. So, be real careful, with the girls you get. Be wary of your dough. I remember hearing from one girl said, "Oh yeah, when the women always take care of the money." Well, me, I have a hard time with that, and I don't see Filipino guys doing that. I know some Filipinos, their wives work too, and they take their money at the end of the month. But you work your whole life, you earn yourself a pension, and then you're just going to hand it over to somebody so they can spend it as they see fit. Not me. No. You want to spend some money, go get it yourself. So that's just me. But just be careful with it, guys, with your dough, and watch out for the scams and all that. And there's my little buddy. Can you say? Let's see. Rickshaw out. All right, guys. We'll see you.